Hello, welcome. I'm so honored for you to be here and practice yoga with me. We're going to do a very fun stretch for post-travel. So if you've been traveling or just in general you're stiff, you've been sitting a lot, this is perfect for that. I just want to ask you guys, let me know if you guys can hear me. If you don't, especially let me know. I just want to make sure that is all good from your end. And all you need today to join the class is a mat. And even if you don't have a mat, you can just use the floor or your bed. It's no big deal. But we're just going to get started right away. And this is for all levels. We're not going to be doing a huge flow. We're going to go from one posture to another. We're going to go in depth a little bit for each posture too, so you can take your time. If there's ever a moment where you feel you want to stay longer in that posture, then please feel welcome to do it. Enjoy that posture as long as you can, especially if it feels good and it helps your body, move more fluidly, then I highly encourage that. We're going to get started right away. I have my yoga mat, as you can see, and I have 2 pillows on the side because I don't have blocks with me here. I always use these pillows instead. So all you're going to need is like a little pillow if you want, but I will give variations for those who don't have pillows or blocks. So really, the world is your oyster, and we're going to get started on the mat. So you can join me. Beautiful. So we're just going to take a moment to place the soles of our feet together like this. You can either grab your big toes with your pointer and middle finger, or you can wrap your hands fully around the feet. And all we're going to do is just gently shake the knees out like a butterfly. And while you have the bind, we're going to extend the spine. You can slow down the legs. You don't have to move them anymore. And on the exhale with the bind, we're going to bend the elbows, gently pull towards the feet. The goal here is not to round your spine. All we're going to do is keep a straight back and tuck the chin down. Stay here if you can. And it's going to be a lot, especially at first, especially if you have tight hips, where we're getting right into it right away. On your inhale, extend the spine. Exhale once again, folding down. Keep the spine straight. I'll show you the side view so you can see what I mean. I'm not rounding my spine. I'm staying fully straight here. Fully bending my elbows and then dropping my chin down. Lowering my chin helps to extend my neck and my upper back. And it helps to keep a straight line from the base of my head to the lower back, the sacrum, the coccyx. And then on the third time, we're going to inhale. And now, if you'd like, you can round the spine. It's okay to hunch over. You can grab the feet differently if that's comfortable to you. And just allow the head to hang. From here, we'll clasp our fingers together and place them behind our head. If it's too much, you can release. You can keep your hands on your feet. But what it does is it allows just the weight of the arms to pull slightly on the neck and help the lower back to extend. Deep breaths. One more breath. Exhale. Gently release. And rise up. All we're going to do is windshield wipe, meaning our hands go on the mat behind us, and we gently allow our knees to fall side to side. It helps to open up the hips. And slightly stretch on the thighs, especially if you have tight thighs. We're going to use this movement of the legs for the next posture. So all you do is allow your knees to fall to the left. You're going to keep this like deer pose that is essentially what we call it in yoga, because it looks like a baby deer, when it's on the grass, sitting, looking for its mom. That's the idea. all you're going to do is, if you have a pillow, you're going to place it behind you so that you can fully twist and then lower down onto the pillow. There's different variations that you can take here. We're starting out really slow with our stretch. I'm going to show you a variation without the pillow. All you can do is stay either on the hands. If you're able to go lower, you can lower onto the elbows. And if you prefer, you can always move the elbows out to the sides and then lower your forehead onto your hands. So there's quite a few options here. You can choose what fits best with your body and gently lower down. We'll stay here for a few breaths, so get comfortable. The goal here is just to release the lower back, the hips, and it really helps for the vagus nerve and in general the nervous system. So we're going to stay here for a few breaths. If you want to close down the eyes, feel free to do so. Allow for your jaw to fully release, maybe separating your teeth in your mouth. I'm not fully lowering down because I have a mic just below my chest and I don't want to muffle the mic. But you can lower all the way down if that's comfortable to you. The more you allow for softness in the lower back, the more you disengage the muscles, the more it's going to help your body fully release and prepare itself for the next postures. If you're able to twist even more, attempt to do so. We really want our chest pointing down towards the mat. So if you have your chest pointing out more to the side instead, try to twist, maybe gazing to your left, allowing for your neck to do a twist as well. And we'll take the last 3 breaths here, nice and slow. This is a really, really comfy posture, and I really recommend to do it before bed, especially because it helps with the nervous system, parasympathetic system, and just helps in general to cool down the fight or flight that is in our system. And it also can help with chronic pain. So chronic discomfort, any buildup that you have inside, it can definitely help. I'm not saying it cures, but it definitely helps. Go ahead and gently rise up. Keep the pillow where it's at, or if you don't have a pillow, you don't have anything to worry about. And we're just going to twist, go to the other side. So now we're doing our deer pose. Should be like this. And twisting to the right. It's possible that some of your backs crack while you're here, and enjoy it while you have it. You know what? I'll just move the mic here so it's easier for you guys to see. You're just going to fully lower down like this onto the pillow or onto the floor. Once again, if you want, you can always just go forehead onto your hands as well if you prefer, if that's accessible. You can close down the eyes. And just enjoy deep breaths. What I recommend doing is breathing solely through the nose. But if you feel that there's tension in the chest or in the belly, what helps is taking that deep breath in through the nose, filling your lungs, sipping in even more air at the very, very top, and then when you feel you can't do any more, you exhale through the mouth and release. You can try that a couple times on your own, see how it works with your body, how it feels. And honestly, these are postures that we do in yin yoga or restorative, and so they can be held for very long periods of time. If that's what you prefer, you can always stay here longer.
There's always that option. We'll take our last 3 breaths here, nice and slow. Allow the lower back and the glutes to fully relax. Let your body do its work on its own. And last exhale. Beautiful. Gently rise up.
We can windshield wipe once again. So if you just came in to our live, windshield wiping is just allowing the knees to fall side to side. Opening up the hips. And we'll move into a cat-cow. So when you're ready, you can move up onto the hands, onto the knees. If there's any moment where you feel like your wrists are too tight or it's too extreme to go right away onto your hands, you can always roll your wrists around. You can always clasp the fingers together and then allow one wrist to fall at a time. So it's kind of creating this circular motion of the wrists and the joints to help you warm up for cat-cow. Otherwise, if you're already ready, we'll just move right into it. Hands are directly under the shoulders, knees are directly under the hips. What I recommend doing, and this is what not a lot of yoga teachers say this, but it's actually very helpful to put pressure into the tips of your fingers. So not just your wrists. And with that tiny little adjustment, you can find some more strength in your wrists, in your arms. And from there, we're going to begin our cat-cows. We're going to inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, gaze up, lift the chin. On the exhale, round your spine, push it up towards the ceiling, drop the head, release the neck. If you want, you can shake the head out. And same thing. Inhale, tailbone points up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, rounding down. Open your spine. Keep going on your own, cat-cow. Every movement has a breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale for cat. Especially if your body is tight from travel, I recommend that you start moving the body even more. That could mean allowing for full circles of the head, the spine, the hips. And for me, my wrist is actually hurting lately, so I'm just going to go onto my knuckles like this. Don't mind me. Keep your hands flat on the mat if you're not in pain. And we're just going to circle all the way around. Option to close down the eyes and really feel the movement of the hips, the spine, and try both directions. Beautiful. And when you're ready, come back to center, neutral spine. And what we're going to do is create some circles of the hips from the side, dropping the hips forward to the side, and then moving back. Child's pose. We're going to do this again. Hips move to the side, in front, to the side, and back. I'm realizing these pillows are probably in the way. There we go. And same thing, keep going. So once again, applying pressure into the fingers, not just the wrists. And you can go in both directions, circling all the way around. This really helps for the outsides of the hips, even the belly, the lower back. And there's also the option that I'll give you guys, which is spinal waves, allowing your weight to shift forward, dropping your hips for seal, and then pushing back, child's pose. Lowering the forehead. Keep going, just like that. Rounding the spine. These are called spinal waves. And the goal is to find fluidity in the spine, in the hips. So there's never really a moment of stillness. Continue to flow. And eventually coming back to child's pose, we'll lower down all the way onto the tops of your feet and move into an open, hipped child's pose. So all I'm saying is, instead of keeping your knees together or hip width distance apart, try to separate them a little bit more, and then you can walk the hands forward, lower the forehead down. Take a moment here. Feel the shoulders opening up. And if you would like a challenge, you can always lift the hands up in prayer, inch the elbows closer together, and stay here. Deep breaths. For those who would like a challenge and have props such as blocks or textbooks, you can always place them under your elbows as an option. So you just have 2 blocks here and just stack your elbows on top to allow for a deeper shoulder opener. Otherwise, we're going to stay here. Deep breaths. And we'll help our shoulders open up more and more. We'll lower our hands here. We'll go deeper into the shoulders in a little bit. But for now, we're going to go into thread the needle. So right hand inhales up. Exhale, thread under your left arm and lower onto the right ear. Stay here, or you can always wrap the left arm behind your back for a deeper twist. Allow for the weight of your body to lower down onto the mat. Once again, relaxing fully, finding some softness in the body. What I mean by that is really trusting, allowing for your weight to lower down, trusting that you can do it. Trusting that your muscles can do the work without pushing yourself too much. Just be here, simply melting down into the mat and no more. 3 more breaths. And last one. On the exhale, left hand lowers down. Inhale, right hand moves all the way up. And we'll lower it down to switch sides. Inhale, left hand reaches up. Excuse me. And to the right. For a twist, once again, option to wrap the right hand behind your back. You can stay here, fully melting down, hips towards the heels in the back. Relax the neck, maybe closing down the eyes. Allow for your jaw to unclench. And your last 2 breaths. On your next exhale, lower the right hand. Inhale. Left hand reaches all the way up. And exhale down. We'll walk our hands towards the knees and then bring the knees together. For now, we're going to go into a twist. So I'll move to the center. All we're going to do is twist to the right side. We're not going to move our hips or anything. It's purely the belly button and up that is going to go for a twist. And the twist it includes right hand on the lower back, right at the very middle base of the lower back where the sacrum begins. And you can have your left hand on the outside of the right thigh for support. So as you apply pressure on the right hand and you're in the middle of your back, you're going to use that left hand to pull the leg and twist, gazing back. Lower the right shoulder. We'll do the same thing on the other side. If you feel that you need to adjust your hands or anything to feel the stretch even more, you can do so. But the goal here is just to do a small little twist towards the back. And then switch, same thing, to the right. Simple twist. And to the left, same thing. Keep that hand on the lower back for support. Gaze, twist the neck, gaze back. And last time, this time, if you would like, you can open the arms out instead. Gaze towards the right hand. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to the left. Lowering the shoulders down. We'll do this 2 more times with just the arms opening up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. If you want to go faster, go for it. But it's better to be controlled and slow, especially if you're stiff. It's the last time. Opening up. Feel your shoulders rotating open more and more. And last time to the left. Beautiful. And this time, arms overhead. We're going to cactus our arms. That means we bend the elbows at a 90-degree angle. We open the chest, a mini back bend, let the head fall back. And on the exhale, bring the elbows together around your spine. Inhale, opening up the arms. Cactus. Exhale together. Round your spine, drop the chin down towards your chest. Last time, inhale, open up. Exhale, towards the center. Beautiful. You can gently release. You can roll your shoulders. And lastly, we're going to go for our head. Now that the shoulders have released quite a bit. From here, we're going to go for some circle or some neck stretches. But I'm going to recommend different options first. First things first, you can allow for the head to just gently tilt side to side like this. This is the first option. And once you're comfortable with that, you can begin with the head tilting forward and back. And you can play around with it. You know, I love to offer any freestyle moments for you to just play around and see how your body feels. And another option that I want you to take carefully, tread lightly, is circling the head all the way around. I say this cautiously because sometimes this can be a little dangerous, especially if you have any issues with the neck. Just be cautious. If you're not sure, if you don't know your range of motion of the neck or the head fully, I suggest to take it nice and slow, little by little. We'll go for 2 more circles towards each side. Beautiful. You can gently release and come back to center. Roll the shoulders back. just 3 times. It's gonna help the neck muscles, if there was any more tension lying in that area, and just shake it off. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna gently move the mic away from me. Oh my goodness, I'm realizing my hair is all pointy. Oh my goodness, okay. We're having fun over here. Beautiful. The next one, I'm gonna move my mic just a little bit so that it doesn't squash as I lower down into the posture. We're gonna move into puppy pose. Puppy pose, we want the knees about hip width distance apart. So just the length of your hip. And all we do is slide the hands forward, lower the chest. It's okay if you stay here, for example, and you just lower down onto the forehead. If you're very flexible with your belly, your chest, your shoulders, you can always lower down all the way onto your chest, onto your chin, gazing forward. Just see what works for you. And stay there. Another option, which for me, I'm actually not feeling as open or warmed up yet, is my shoulders. But if you would like, I'll just show this very shortly. As an option, you can place the hands together, elbows slightly together towards the center of the mat, and then lowering down onto your chest. Once again, find what works for you. And we'll stay here just for 3 breaths. Allow the body to melt down into the floor. Deep breaths. Beautiful. From here, we'll spine away forward. Lower the hips. And Sphinx pose. Beautiful. Just like this. Bring the legs together. We're pushing the elbows into the mat. Bring the arms or the elbows close knit towards the chest. You still want to be able to push the floor away from the mat. You're not dumping down into your shoulders like this. You're still staying very engaged. Opening up the chest forward, shoulders away from the ears. Spine and neck is nice and long. And from here, we can gently lower down onto the belly. And we're going to go for some open shoulder postures. From here, I'm all the way on the mat. My left ear is on the floor. And what I'm going to do is start with the right side. I'm going to place my right hand by my chest, by my armpit. Bend the right knee as well. And that way I can roll over to the left side, just like this, to drop my leg down. But I really want to make sure, really want to iterate that it's very important to keep your hands in the same height as your shoulders. So not lower like this, not higher up like that. They should be in line with the shoulders, both arms. It's like you're the letter T. Okay? Super important, because when you roll over, for example, to the left, and you let that foot drop back, you want the left shoulder to be open in the right way, to open the breast muscle, the shoulder, even the right hip. You can stay here if that's comfortable, or you can even reach back. Right hand can reach behind the back, maybe place it behind the lower back. Or if you'd like to go deeper, if you have really open shoulders, without moving the left hand, you're going to attempt to move the right hand towards that left hand. Try to meet them together without moving the one that's on the floor. You can attempt to reach back. And even me, this is where I am at. So don't be too hard on yourself. Stay at the level that works for your body today. And when you're ready, we'll lower the right hand down and move to the other side. So same thing. Same thing. Arms extend. Now I'm on my left ear, my right ear. My left hand is close to my rib cage, elbow pointing up. I'm going to bend my left knee as well and gently begin to roll
over onto my right side, opening up the left side of my body. My foot lowers down. It's possible that some of you will have the heel lift up. That just depends on your flexibility of the lower back and your hip. And just stay where your body allows. We'll stay here. And once again, if you'd like, you can wrap the left hand behind your back, or you can attempt, without moving the rest of the body, you can attempt to reach that left hand back and join it with the other hand. Wherever you're at, we'll just take 2 more breaths here. Get comfy. Keep opening up that left knee, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. And back to center, onto the belly. We'll inhale for cobra, just a little moment with the hands to each side of the chest. All you're going to do is apply pressure onto the tops of the feet, the pubic bone, and the belly in order to lift the chest, lift the chin, and from here you should be able to lift the hands without losing your strength in the core or in the posture in general. If you'd like, you can always reach the hands back, pull the hands interlocked towards the heels in the back. And gently release. We'll move into child's pose. Push the hips back. Just like this. If your lower back is all tingly or it needs to be released in some way, you can bring the knees together in child's pose like me right now. And it helps with the lower back. Beautiful. Gently walk your hands towards the knees. How are you feeling? Does that help? You guys feel it? Let me know. We just have a few more postures left, and these are very deep into the hips, meaning we're opening up the hips. We're going to, definitely feel some discomfort in them. So I'm going to show you some variations that you can take just as options. And I'm going to start out by using one of my pillows here. So what you can do is use a pillow or a block under your hips. And I'm saying this is for those who have a hard time sitting with your legs crossed in the first place. So if sitting normally down onto the floor with your legs crossed is difficult, you can use a pillow under your hips like this to start out. And it's really not like a huge movement or a huge posture. All we're going to focus on is trying to lower the knees towards the floor. So if your knees just naturally prop up like this, all you're going to do is pull those feet closer towards the pubic bone or towards the hips and then attempt to lower the knees down afterwards. You can start here, super, super gentle, just allowing for the muscles of the thighs to do their work, the hips, and we'll go for the other side afterwards. Otherwise, if you're able to go in deeper, we're going to take the pillow out from underneath and go into a fire log pose. This one is much deeper. What we're going to do is stack the legs, which means the right foot is literally on top of the left knee, and we're stacking our legs. You can stay here. As you see, my hip is pretty tight right here already. And so if I were to stay in this posture, I would just focus on keeping my spine straight and using just the weight of my legs, maybe just slightly the weight of my hands to lower the knees more and more, but I'm not pushing it at all. I'm just gently sitting here, breathing deeply, feeling the discomfort. You have to feel the discomfort to get to the next variations. It's all part of the process. The next one is called cow-facing pose. And what this is literally stacking the knees one on top of the other. You can bring the heels closer towards the hips if that helps. It's very important that your tailbone or your ischiums, the bones that are literally at the very base of your hips and touch the floor or the seat that we all sit on every day, And you have the option of pressing your thumbs into the soles of your feet, and this really helps for any discomfort that is happening in the body. It helps your immune system, your hormones, a lot. So you can always apply pressure there to help you. If you want to go deeper, and this helps with the upper body, especially the back, the shoulders, the neck a little bit, is including the cow-facing arms. So if we have our right leg on top, we're going to use our cow-facing arms with the left arm on top to start. Just like this. Or sorry, this is actually, this is a different one. This is eagle arms. So this is just an option. My bad. Cow-facing pose is opposite. So if we have right leg on top, my bad, I'm doing like all the yoga math in my head right now for all the sides. So we're going to start with left arm on top, right arm on the bottom, and you can attempt to reach and interlock your hands together in the back. So you can stay here if that's comfortable for you. We'll stay here for just another 5 minutes, especially if you're only now getting into the posture. It's okay if you're not able to touch your hands together. You can always place your thumbs on your feet. Wherever you're at, maybe close down the eyes, deep breaths. I know that these are very intense postures, but if we're stiff, these are the OG postures. I promise you. Let's take 2 more breaths, almost there. And gently release. You can windshield wipe once again, or you can go directly to the other side. Windshield wipe is knees fall to each side. Just like that. And then moving to the other side. So once again, if you're on your pillow, if you're sitting on a pillow, you just switch legs. So now left leg is on top, or in front, and you drop the knees down towards the floor. The next option was fire log. We're stacking the feet on top of our knees, creating almost like a fire pit look with the legs. And then the next option, as you can see, this side is much more flexible for me, and that is normal to have distinguished sides. The next one was cow-facing pose. We're stacking the knees. We really want our ischiums touching the floor. Our spine is fully straight. There's no rounding in the back. And once again, you can apply pressure on the soles of your feet to help alleviate discomfort. And you can always attempt to use eagle arms, as I mistakenly mentioned last time, but this is actually a really great one as well. You can hold it here. You can always lift the elbows up and down, and this really helps to open up the back, the upper spine, the neck, the shoulders, opening up the space between the scapula where all those hidden muscles in the back are. And then the last one, which is cow-facing arms. Right hand is on top this time. And we stay here, opening up the elbows, straight spine. And it's okay if you don't grab your hands. You can also grab a strap behind your back and use it. You can also use a belt as well. You can grab it and gently, as you practice, as you stay here longer, you can walk those hands closer and closer together. We'll just take 5 more breaths here, wherever you're at. Maybe closing down the eyes, focusing on what's happening in the body without judging it, without labeling it. I know I am speaking a lot here, but the last thing I want to say about this posture is that a lot of us hold immense stress, anxiety, all of our emotions in our muscles. Anytime we feel emotions, we kind of store them here usually, especially in the hips or in the back or the shoulders. It's usually the big ones, the neck as well. So when we're in these postures and we're feeling a lot, we're feeling this discomfort, it's actually a really good thing you're feeling it now because it gets it out of the way. Feeling this now literally releases what emotions you've stored into that hip. Anytime we've gotten upset and we, tighten our muscles and we clench, it stays in there, almost like memory. So by doing this and allowing ourselves to feel it and stay and sit with it, we're able to actually release. So it's definitely a blessing in disguise sometimes. Beautiful. I know we've stayed here longer than last time, the other side, so you can gently release the legs, however it feels right to you. Extend it in front and gently shake it out. Take any stretches you'd like to do to help yourself out. I'm just going to check here what time exactly. That's what I thought. So we're basically towards the end. If you would like to take Shavasana with me, feel free to do so. I have a little bubble. We're going to do Shavasana together. All it is laying down on your back. If you'd like to use something over the eyes, like an eye mask, anything, go ahead and do it. I'm just going to place one of my pillows at the base of my feet, and it helps to elevate my blood. It helps the blood circulation in general. So if you want to do that with me, you can do it. I'm just going to do it for about 3 minutes, and we'll be done there. So all we're going to do is extend the legs. Also, if you prefer to finish the class in a different posture, you may do so. For example, placing the soles of the feet together, knees splayed apart. This is called a supine Baddha Konasana. The arms move to each side of the hips, and you can stay here if you prefer. Otherwise, Shavasana is an option. You can use a pillow under the legs like I'm doing, or no pillow. Really, it's up to you. Just allow for the body to fully extend. Shoulders away from the ears, if you can shimmy those away. Take up space. Maybe your hands and your feet move off the mat. Don't be shy to take up space in the room. And eventually closing down the eyes if you're comfortable, or lowering your gaze. If you ever feel like this is too much, you're feeling a little too vulnerable, or you just need something to ground yourself, you can always place a hand over the heart and the belly as well. And little by little, you can scan the body from the top of the head down to the toes. Relax the forehead, the space between your eyebrows, the eyes, the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, and so on, more and more towards the feet, until you're able to fully melt down into your mat, wherever you're at. Allow for the breath to be natural. Come back to the breath. If your thoughts have wandered elsewhere, if you'd like to stay longer here in Shavasana, you can always pause the video, come back to it later. Otherwise, we're going to gently move our fingers, our toes, the head side to side, gently waking ourselves up. If you'd like, you can roll your wrists and your ankles, both directions, and eventually go for a nice big nighttime stretch. Point your toes, bring the knees towards the chest, wrap your arms around, curl in towards the knee. If you'd like to go for a little happy baby, grabbing the big toes, lifting the heels, then go for it. You can always rock side to side. You can always extend your legs one at a time. And with the left side, use your arm as a pillow and gently push yourself up to seated. Thank you so much. Namaste. My name is Anik, and I am so honored to have you guys here. I'll be here next week, as you guys know. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, stay safe. Happy Friday. I'll see you guys.